Okay, so I'm gonna start the quiz. I'm gonna start the video now. Oh, where is it? Where's my cursor? There it goes.
A warm welcome to Taiwan Plus News. I'm Leslie Liao. Taiwan's COVID cases have been on a downward trend in recent weeks, and COVID restrictions have gradually been lifted.
So he's saying that in recent years, in recent days, there has been less and less, or fewer and fewer COVID restriction. We don't have to wear masks in school anymore. Don't have to wear it inside or outside buildings. Only have to wear it on the train or on the bus or in the hospital. But migrant workers have different rules.
But as Taiwan Plus reporter Bing Wong finds out from a Filipino migrant worker, she is not receiving the same benefits.
A Spartan rundown dorm.
So I want you to see this dormitory room that they make her live in. They don't even put mattress on the bed. They only put a piece of wood over the spring of the mattress. Not mattress, the spring of the frame of the bed. But no soft thing to lay on. They make her sleep on a piece of wood.
Dormitory. This is where 31-year-old Anita, an alias, says she was moved by her employer after testing positive for COVID-19.
So the migrant worker also still have to regularly be tested for COVID. And if they they pop for COVID, then they must go into quarantine, very strict. Again, even though normal people don't have this kind of restriction anymore. And here, even more strict, had to live at her workplace. So even if she didn't have COVID, she would still have to live in her workplace.
She's been in isolation here for a week.
So they put her also in isolation a whole week, cannot leave her room. And didn't give her proper things.
And shared this video with Taiwan Plus. A migrant worker, Anita has lived in Taiwan for 4 years, employed and housed by a tech company in the southern city of Tainan. In fear of retaliation from her employers, she asked that her identity be concealed.
So she's so afraid that her employers will punish her for talking about what they did to her that she begged the news agency to hide who she is. So her real name is not really Anita. So this is how much power they have over their worker. They can just they will make up a charge and get her pushed out of the country with no money and have to pay debt back.
I was on the 4th floor and they brought me here to the 2nd floor of the dormitory. This is a vacant room where there's no bed, but the bed to sleep here is on a bed frame and no mattress. They didn't even tell me that I need to bring my own pillows or a blanket.
So she wasn't even allowed to bring any of her own blankets or anything. She had to beg for friends to come help her. She tried to ask the worker to bring her her bosses to bring her own sleepwear and other stuff, but they refused. They said only her friend can help her bring.
In recent months, Taiwan has significantly reduced its COVID protocols, lifting the indoor mask mandate, quarantine for incoming travelers, and hospitalization for those who test positive. But being a migrant worker, Anita hasn't been able to enjoy these new benefits. And she says that while she's in quarantine, the company took her residency and insurance cards. They only let her bring things into isolation that she can grab.
I asked
So they said she can only bring whatever she could take with her at the time that that her test came back
them
positive.
to buy medicine for me because I had a sore throat. I had a cough and had a cold nose.
So she had COVID, so she was very sick, but they refused to bring her medicine to make herself feel better. Just put her in a room away from others. Don't really care if how sick she will get.
I asked them if my company could buy it for me, but they responded that I should ask a friend to buy medicine for me because they couldn't do it. And sometimes they forget to get me food.
And she said also they don't give her food for every meal. They will just forget to make the meal and give it to her. So many days she don't even have any food to eat.
They said that the chef forgot to make me food, but before that, they said they would always provide me with food.
There were many reports of migrant workers suffering similar treatment during the height of the pandemic.
There's an example of a normal dormitory in the factory. They have to live all together, stacked up, one on top of each other, door to door to door. They don't even get their own room.
There are the big incidents that we know of from COVID time in the summer of last year when movement restrictions were imposed on migrant workers, but not on their Taiwanese colleagues who work in the same factory in Miaoli during June 2021.
That forced lockdown of migrant factory workers caused a public uproar. And Anita's plight has caused a similar storm on social media, with the original post by her friend now seen.
So you can see they just leave all the food waste on the ground next to them. Even next to, if you look in the corner here, it's all full of mold. So that very unsanitary. They will get sick from this kind of condition. So even if they don't get COVID, being forced to live in the dormitory like this next to each other is just disaster waiting to happen. Many more sick people.
38,000 times. Taiwan Plus reached out to both Anita's company and the Labor Ministry, but has yet to receive a response from either. Anita is one of 700,000 migrant workers in the country, and they are essential to the workforce, especially with the local population in decline. Just last year, the Labor Ministry announced it would ease measures for migrant workers to gain residency, allowing them more agency over where they live and where they work.
So the government finally said that now Taiwanese migrant workers are going to be allowed to stay here longer term and don't have to be on special contract. That means they can choose where to live. And that means that they don't have to live in those dormitories anymore.
In the hopes this would bring in more workers. The Labor Ministry hopes.
So they need more workers. The government just realized that the economy of Taiwan just needs those workers. So they must recruit more. So they have to solve this problem. But it doesn't matter what benefits they give. As long as this situation is like this, people being exploited, it will keep happening and less people will keep coming.
To attract 80,000 more migrants into Taiwan. But with claims of racism and stories like Anita's, that might make potential migrants think twice before coming to Taiwan. Isaiah Zhou and Bing Wang in Taipei for Taiwan Plus.
Okay, that's it. That's the end of this one. Before we go, I want you to use this QR code. Oh, wait for it. Use this QR code, or if the QR code doesn't work, you can type in joinmyquiz.com and type in 295546663. Again, that's 295546663. Son, I mean. Sorry. Let me say it again. 295546663. You type that in as the code, and you can take this short quiz. Okay. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. Don't forget to sign up if you're interested in my lunchtime chat. Here is the QR code again. Okay. See you guys later. Bye-bye. 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 See ya. Bye-bye.